Chris, we need about 10 seconds here.
I'll tell you, turn them on.
No worries.
Sounds reasonable.
Alrighty, we're live. My screen doesn't match. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Do we need to wait the magic 10-second countdown?
We did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Gabe and Josh, I think are the people that have questions or input about.
I think it was Josh did, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so I played around with the app, had some questions, and I don't know if we can. Is there a way to put it up on the screen, or probably not, huh?
Chris, can you do a
I
screen
don't know
share?
if you guys are, yeah, I can. If you guys just give me 1 second, I can do that. So just bear with me real quick.
Okay. Mike, can you turn the volume up?
Yes, I can.
Or him a little bit?
Yeah, yeah.
Or Harley, or whoever.
This would be an interesting meeting. This, like, the health district general council meeting.
All right.
Hey, Chris, how do we turn the volume up for the person speaking from outside?
Our IT guy's name's Chris, too.
Oh, sorry about that, Chris. Chris, or Sean. Sean, I'm sorry.
Let me see what I
Sean?
can do. I might be able to turn up my mic real quick.
Sean is working on it, or
Does that sound better?
little.
Yeah, as long as we don't have a whole lot of background noise here, we should be fine.
So I don't lose it. Pass it down to Mike.
Okay.
Can you send that in?
Yeah, if you guys are getting a lot, I do apologize. I'm in an office, but I can find a cubicle.
Just barely hear you on that one.
All right, let me. Yeah, I was just saying that if you guys are hard to hear me, I can move to a quiet. Try to find a quiet spot in our office.
That sounds alright to me.
I think we can hear you. We're fine.
Josh is old.
Okay. All right, get my my phone up right now. Okay,
Oh, Zoom conference.
so let me share my screen. Close out a bunch of this stuff. Okay. Okay. I don't know which screen this is going to share, so 1 second.
It's always rolling the dice, right? I have that too when
I know, right?
during the day. It's a roll.
I've got two monitors. Are you guys seeing my phone by any chance?
No, it looks like we're seeing the desktop.
There it is. Okay. All right. I will move. You guys are on my ultra wide screen, so I do apologize if it is a little distorted. Close out of some of this stuff. There we go. Can you guys see the phone now? I'll enlarge it right there.
Yeah, we can see it. Oh, yeah, even better now.
That's
Okay.
better.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So you guys said you guys had some notes on that.
Yeah, so I went through and jotted some stuff down last night. So, like on this homepage here, I don't know what you guys think. Our logo at the top is pretty small. I don't know if we just scrap the logo from there.
Well, we talked about that, Chris. There was not much you could do with that, right?
Right. So the issue with that is that that is like a fixed size, and so the logo is horizontal, or it's a rectangle. Those logos fit better when they're a square in that spot. So we can do one of two things. We can put a new one in there if there's a square one that you guys have, or we can scrap it and just leave Paynesville Township, Ohio up there.
My thought was probably just scrap it, but
What about just the logo? You've got Painesville Township below it, don't you?
Well, you got the logo in the middle, watermark.
the logo's in the middle, watermark behind everything.
So I don't. You really need it at the top. I mean,
That's my thought. We just scrap the logo at the top.
Hey, Chris, I can't
Yeah.
remember if we discussed this or not. This is Gabe. I can't remember if we discussed this or not, but can we remove the Painesville Township and just put the logo there? with the words with
I
the
don't
words
think-
Painesville Township on it?
I don't know if that will enlarge. I don't think that will enlarge the logo. So if
Okay.
you look at where Painesville Township, Ohio is, and then those are almost like two different spots. It's not like one spot. So if
I
I
see.
remove one, it's not gonna. Yeah.
That's fine with me. All right, they'll just scrap that then. I think is the consensus.
Yeah, if we
Okay.
pull the logo
Okay.
off there.
Okay.
And then we've got, down in, I guess, in the white area, we've got all those different icons there. Can we come up with something better for the service department than the three?
It's like a networking. logo.
Yeah.
You got like a truck you can put there.
Let me take a look. I have a list of icons. Let me pull that up, and I can show you guys exactly what we can pick from.
It looks like an IT. logo.
Icons. Let's see. Let's push to. Okay. So I'm gonna scroll through these. Let me know the icons set V3 are the ones we can pick from. So if there's something stands out to you guys.
You have to see the damn things just keep repeating.
What? You're talking about Willis. I mean, I'd say the car would probably be the closest, but keep going back
This one?
down. Keep going back down again.
Yeah, that's the bottom right there.
All right, go back up to the top. Scroll against.
So,
I meant okay. Are you? Yeah, go to the top and come down again. Okay. Either way. There you.
Yeah.
Okay.
a burglar could be Bill.
Yeah.
Handcuffs could be John.
That's the trustees.
I can't believe there's no truck. All right, slow down. Go back up just a little bit.
Said
There was
cars.
a building. I saw. a
Yeah, what was the building? I
What
mean,
was that building?
Yeah. Where was that? Right here. There's
No,
two.
there's another one.
it was down lower.
It was down lower. It wasn't far from one I
Oh,
saw
oh.
earlier.
There it
Oh,
is.
this one, the school one.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Unless you guys want a car.
I think the car would be more applicable. It's the roads, service department,
I don't know.
than the building.
Yeah, I would probably recommend if it is, service department is strictly.
I mean, not most of their work is out on the roads and the roadways.
If it's, if it is we can do a custom icon. That's not difficult. If you want, if you guys prefer like a road icon, like just a.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you can do that,
yeah.
then
If
do
there's
it.
like because you can find those cheap road like the.
Like a clip art, right?
Clip art type.
You just pretty much transfer clip art into the icon. Is that what you're gonna do?
Kind of, yeah. We would basically look for something like what I'm doing right here, which is just Google searching like
Yeah,
road or
perfect.
something
Yeah.
like these that match kind of
Yeah,
our style.
any of
like this
those.
one probably would
Do
probably
the
match our style.
do the one that's kind of like I would say do one that's kind of like wiggle with the sign on it, or the road rather with the road on it. What do you guys think with the car or with the sign? That I think the squiggly makes it so you see that it's a road.
Which one you looking at, Gabe?
Second one down, that big gray box right on. Yeah, I think the squiggly one is more identifiable as a road. The other one looks kind of like
True.
looks like the contemporary hotel at Disney actually, but yeah.
Better than what we've got. The other one's it's an IT thing.
Yeah, I would say that, or unless there's like
No, the one below that.
so the big gray box, the one underneath it, top left,
Flag on
Top
the end of
left,
the squiggly
yeah,
arrow.
down one, there,
this one.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's like a It's a flag. Okay.
I will save that one.
Sorry, destination.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks
Can
kind of
you
more like a flag.
can you
than
use
a-
the one with the trees and just make it the one that looks like a road with the trees? Can you just make that a single color?
On the bottom right.
Bottom right. See it?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
So what I have to do, or what our graphics team will have to do, is kind of match this style. So we don't want one that kind of stands out that looks different. And you'll see that they're all kind of the same color. So
Well, that's what I meant. Can they just convert that and make
let me-
that
I'll-
a solid flat color?
Yeah, I will have to get back to you guys on that. But if that's the direction you guys want, I will find something that looks. It's not that, I will find something that looks very similar to that.
Okay.
If that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Either that, or if you can
Okay,
just
I
find
got that written down.
find an icon that looks like a big dump truck or something. That would be the only other thing.
Gotcha. Okay,
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay.
And then when you, are you taking notes, or do you want me to hold up for a second, or?
Yeah. No, I got you. I got
Okay.
it all written down.
So then when you click on the service department, and I don't know,
Yes.
can you click on your, so the general information and the contact us pretty much lead to the same type of information. And I
Okay.
didn't know if the general can be, well, I guess, I don't know how all this works. Is it just path to something we have on our website?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the
Yes,
general
so
one,
I will. Let me show you. I will go ahead and open up. So this is. So I will say about 90% of the content within the app, you guys will be able to edit freely. So let me just go ahead and show you guys, and we'll do a formal. So once we get everything locked in and we start the release process, what we'll do is we'll do like a formal training on what is called our control panel. And this will allow you guys to edit, adjust, change out any content within the app, or majority of the content within the app. So that service department, if you go, it is what's called a page. So if you go to general information, and I open this up, I can actually change all the content within here. So you guys will have the capability to adjust all this at any point, or assign somebody to make, that's in charge of with this information.
So on the service department webpage, and let me go there really quick.
So just real quick, Chris, I think that in the consideration of what we want to do, we can. I don't think he has a problem with the setup. He just has a problem with the content of the tab, which we can just change we can do on our end whatever we want to put there, right? So if there's something we want to come up with.
Now if you guys want me to change it now, or if you guys have something that you guys want to change it to right now, I can obviously do that really quickly until you guys get that training.
That's what it is. So so if you go to service department on that webpage where you're at,
Yep.
and I think just the general. Yeah, so if you scroll down, that right
Oh,
there,
yeah.
that,
Oh.
there are over 50 miles of township roads in Painesville Township, that.
Well, do you have to put that
Yeah.
in there, or when we hit that general information, can it just take us right to that page?
Oh, I like to put it in there.
Oh, you
So
want to? Okay.
Yeah, so we recommend obviously kind of if you keep on, well, I will say this, majority of your app is within the control panel or managed within the control panel. If you start kind of using it as web links, it kind of can feel like the app's not bringing a lot of value.
Okay.
So we always recommend that if you're going to, it's fine to do it every once in a while. We completely understand that is a thing, right? Some pages are just are updated constantly through your web service. So that's perfectly fine. But for something like this that might be static, that you're not going to change out that often, we probably would recommend copying and pasting and editing when you need
There you
to
go.
through the control panel.
And and the images will place in there in full color.
Yeah, so I'll
Okay.
show you guys an example, and I'll just kind of get up to this red line right here, and I'll paste it in here.
Yeah, that's good.
The image will move over as well. You'll have to do some tweaking just to kind of align things.
Sure.
But it should, for the most part, kind of transfer over pretty cleanly.
Did you update it yet so we can try it in the app?
Not yet. So if I click update right now, and then if you back out, you'll kind of have to back out of the app
Close it
just to
out.
verify that it went through.
Yeah, I just closed it out and opened it back
And
up.
then go service department.
It just said, oh, there we go. Yep.
There we go. So that looks like that.
No
Yeah, it
image
looks
though.
like
There's
that
n-
image just didn't come through.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'll have to do is I'll just have to download it from right here,
Save
put it on my
and then
desktop,
and put it in there.
and
okay.
then
Bus on this thing.
and I can actually put it in the header actually. So give me 1 second. If I attach this file,
So I have an idea for that, for and putting some tabs in there. If you want me to say it, and then if it does, you guys don't like it, then
What, in the, under service?
under trustees,
Oh, yeah. Well,
I have an idea for to
Yeah.
do what Chuck's doing. I think.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, I got a few
Okay.
other things.
Oh, okay. In the service department.
Yeah.
so if you guys close out and come back in, that image will be at the top up there. And so the reason it goes up here is because in theory you could have up to 4 images and you would be able to swipe between them if you wanted to do that. If you didn't want it to be like that, if you guys wanted it to be like the way that it was, there is a way to embed this image, insert image here, and then you would have to have a source link. But again, I can do all that.
So you'll
And
show
then
us.
show
so
you guys how to do that
we
as well.
can add
so.
2-3
Yeah.
more images. Okay, and we'll get some training on that eventually.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So and this probably goes back to the training. So like under the service department, under the brush and leaf drop off and curbside collection schedule, I guess I just had questions on how to get that updated. But so we'll cover that later.
Yeah. Yep.
On something like that, would that be a? I know you said that things that are updated frequently would be something that would be a better direct link. Is this a section where that would be better served with the direct link, so that any updates would automatically be there versus having to go in and change it out?
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how often that's updated, and it's completely up to you guys.
That's
So
true.
I will say that if this is something that, and I'll go ahead and go to this web link so we can take a look at it. Yeah. So what I probably would recommend is that this is your schedule. So you can do one of two things. You can link directly to this. This page will actually open within the app.
I think that's good.
So it'll be readable within the app, or we can, if you have this copy somewhere, you can just copy and paste it and put it in there.
I mean,
Completely up to you. Now, I will say, if you put it into the app, like this image or this web link, we'll have to do that from our end. So just let me know. We're the only ones that can dictate what that feature is going to be. So when you click on that button, what it's going to be will have to be set by us.
So I kind of like having the stuff.
So if it's an OV,
I like having the stuff in the app, so it's not just like here's an app that's
Sure.
gonna
Link.
link you to our webpage.
Right.
So I kind of like the stuff that's actually in there.
right.
Can you put that, if we gave, instead of putting it in there, could we put that image, though, in there? Make that an image, and then when you open that tab, you would just see this whole thing, or no? You'd have to just copy and paste the
text.
and
That's double the work every time you do it.
For
once a year.
display
It's once a
purposes and just to for it visually, right, to make it look aesthetic, I would probably find that if you guys have the text, I would probably recommend that. We can always put the image in there if you absolutely need us to.
That's
though.
fine.
It's once a year.
Once a
right?
year,
I mean, that's
yeah,
not a big deal.
right. We don't change it ever. Sure,
Gotcha.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, and I don't know if it's something that we'd be interested in or not, but under the fire department, we have an equipment page. If we wanted to add in this, are you limited to like 4 lines when you click service department?
No.
Okay. I mean, if we wanted to,
No. So you don't. No.
so if we wanted to add an equipment page, or for some reason with pictures, we could. I don't know if we want to or not.
Yes. So you're talking about like right here where it says fire department, and you guys have 3 things listed.
Yeah, he's saying add a 4th where you click and it would show our equipment.
Well, so
Yeah.
We have that.
well, so in fire department,
Yeah.
if you go to
Operations.
is it operations, yeah, if you go to PTFD operations,
And
there
then
is an
after
equipment.
Oh, yeah.
It's there.
So I was just looking in the service department if we wanted to add an equipment page. there as well. I mean, I think we have a lot of cool stuff. I don't know.
Help me
Yeah.
freaking do my jobs, but
Yeah, there is no limit on how many you guys can have in this. This is what we call a sub menu.
Okay.
So there's no limit on how many things you can have within the sub menu. I will say that if there's something you want added though to a sub menu, that's something that we'll have to do from our side. Whether that's, hey, go ahead and make this a page or a blog, we'll have to do that. But again, from managing the content, that's completely what you guys can do once we add that.
Okay. And that's something we can do once the app is released, right? If we want to.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know.
Yep, and I will show you guys right here. And again, this will go in the training. We have a contact support page right here. There's different types of requests that you can put in. Question, change request, app impacted, any type of change request, put it in here. I will say that our support team is super, super quick and responsive. I would say like a change like that, very simple, doesn't require like a rebuild of the app or anything like that. We could probably get those turned around in less than 24 hours easily.
Okay. I had one thing under the fire department, right? So if you go to fire department, we get department history, operations, and fire safety. If you click on history, that's where contact the fire department is. Can we pull contact the
Okay.
fire department out, like back up one level,
Yes,
so that when you hit fire department, you get
absolutely.
history, operations, safety, and contact us?
Yes. So that is, yeah, contact fire department. I see it. Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
upper level?
Sorry about that.
The contact, put on the main menu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, move contact the fire department back up to fire to here.
Right there in the main scan.
Yeah.
And it should all be that way.
To first sub menu. Yep, I can easily get that done.
Okay. And that way, right, when you hit the service department, there's a contact us. You hit the fire department, there's a
Yeah.
contact us.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Are you good with the fire?
Yeah, I'm good with the fire.
So on the trustees tab, instead of being just a direct link to our meeting minutes, I'd like to create, I think Josh wants the same boat here, and Chuck, but create a sub menu like we have on the other tabs.
Uh-huh.
And first one would say meet the trustees, let's say, and they could click on that and it would show our pictures. Yeah.
Okay. So like a directory almost, like
Yeah, so you would click meet the trustees and then it would just 3 embedded images with our name and bios.
What about,
Okay, perfect.
fiscal officer?
Well, you
Menu,
He just left.
You
meet
can
the
throw
trustees.
them in there. We don't. But
He
I think
just
trust
walked out.
nobody. I mean,
So, and we have that on our webpage under.
Oh, okay.
It's not under trustees.
yeah, it's
It is. And so it is under trustees.
so we would create a tab, meet your trustees, and then a next tab would be meeting minutes.
And that'll be the web link that we currently have.
That, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
And our
use-
website has the
Alright.
bios and the pictures you can take right from there and embed them in that.
I think all it has is. Well, the
Do you know
pictures
where
aren't
that is?
loading for me. But the pictures should be there. I don't think there's really bios, is there?
Pictures, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Pictures. That.
They should be on there, but
They're in there somewhere. Hang on.
buried in there.
I think it's
On the
about
website?
it's about us. I think no. It's admin. It is about us.
Under where, oh,
yes.
Mine just says products.
mine just says products.
No, just click about.
Oh, there it
us.
is.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Yep.
I gotta save this picture on yonder.
Yeah, so if we could do
I know mine.
grab the
Mine's 11 years old now. I think it's time to update it. We look like Bob Awful there soon.
so then yeah, so if we get that page set up like Gabe, where it's meet your trustees, that we can then
How old are you in this
Yeah.
picture, Gabe?
It's 11 years ago.
we'd have the option to go in and add stuff if we wanted.
Yes. And so what we'll do, and I'll let me go ahead and see if you guys have one. What we'll do is we'll create like let's see if there's a good example of one. Might have to go to a different department. So that's a single. Let me see if there's a multi. We have a kind of like a directory, multi-person contact. It'll have like, you can put the person's name, title, phone number, email, and it's totally optional. All these are optional. And then you can do like a description, like a greater detail description. So like a bio would be
Yeah,
perfect there.
that'd be great.
I'll go ahead and put that in there. And then that way you guys can edit that as well. So adding people, removing people, whoever. So I will make that be trustees, us, and that be a contact. All right. Was that the only two on that sub menu, or was there anything else you guys wanted to add?
And maybe you could put in there, just put township, maybe put township staff and put all the other pictures and bios there.
It's under trustees.
Why not put
Oh,
the
that's true.
pictures in the different categories? So if they want to see road department, they go to roads. If they want to see fire, they go to fire. That way you can have everybody in different places. Only see what you're interested in.
So under fire, so what he's saying is, I guess, but we should put in the trustees, put administrative staff in there, I think, because there's no place for them. So
Yeah, so we can. So what's really cool is we can actually put like headers. So we can list out all of the trustees, and then go down by. Oops, sorry, keeps on zooming in. There we go. And then go down by like administration right here, and
Yeah.
then go down the list
Yeah, okay.
from there.
Why not move newsletters?
And it'll be all in the same. That'll all be
Because
in
we
the
want people to
same
sign up, so
contact
you need it there
feature,
in their
but
face,
it'll
so
be
it's-
sectioned
catch
out.
it.
But they can be in another category.
So,
They won't catch it. It needs to be in the main page so people will catch it. Otherwise, if it's
What's
buried,
community?
okay, well, hold on. Because I had a
all
question.
of our other stuff.
So you were talking about moving newsletter.
You've shot that down. You didn't like that.
Well, no. So what if we took, right? So we have report of concern and report odors. What if we consolidated that into one that was report concerns,
Or odor.
and then in there, the first pop up is general concern or odor.
Could you say report concern and maybe just write on it report odor and click on it, and then it brings up two tabs,
Yeah.
and one you click the
I
other.
hate to have odor on the first
Just
on the home
report.
page.
Just report. Boom. Just report. And then they go underneath, and there's two categories.
Well, report it does
Concern or
report
odor?
what? I think you got to say what you're.
Can we just do report concern?
Yeah, and then inside there do general concern or odor.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Not
Alright,
sure when
so-
you have to have an odor concern.
So I guess.
Is
I don't know
that
if you-
gonna make the general one prominent enough? We have a lot of residents that contact us through that. I just wanna make sure it's easy for them to see it.
It would still be report concern.
So
Go ahead.
So some language that we use, or that a lot of our clients use, is submit a report or submit a tip or something like that as the feature name, and then underneath that you could do report a concern or report an odor.
I think just report concern, leave it that way, and then when you click on that,
Okay.
it'll say general concern or odor, and then they can click on either one.
Whichever one they want. I'm good with that.
So then, yeah. So the idea there, then that takes one of the
It would
nine.
lose the odor one.
And then you got administration. And under administration, you have
There you go.
Mike and then this building.
There, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, then zoning is up there already.
Well, you would put zoning pictures in the zoning tab.
Just leave zoning alone. So go service. It'd be Mike and Karen.
No, administration, not service.
Right. But you're gonna add an icon for service, for
Admin-
admin, right?
Right.
So that would be only really Mike and Karen, because zoning stays under zoning.
Yeah, Mike and Karen, we could put him in there.
There you go. Yeah, get him out of here.
All right. So did you hear that, Chris?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
That's
So
fine.
what-
That's fine. We had a lot of conversations going
So
on.
we're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna
you're good.
86 the report odor button, okay?
Okay.
And then there you're gonna put a new tab that just says administration. And then
Okay.
for the report concern, leave that wording there, but then when you open it, say report general concern,
Yeah.
report odor. Two tabs.
Okay.
You change trustees to elected officials.
Got it.
And then you do all.
And then under
I like
administration.
just trustees and put Mike
do
in
too.
administration.
He doesn't get a vote.
He's administration, dude. That's what he is.
He doesn't get a vote.
I don't even need to be in there, I try to keep quiet.
But he falls under administration, really.
Yeah.
You know.
Like when you wink at me.
Did I kinda wink at you?
Oh, there's a delay
That's
on
on,
it now.
'cause they can't catch the wink on,
You got the camera over there now, man. They got you.
So you'd put the trustees in there, the pictures like we talked about, where the report odor is. You put administration. You'll put the administrator, the office manager, and then the fiscal officer in there.
Okay. So that'll be like a. Is that the only feature in there, or is that a sub menu?
I think that would just be the only feature. Put them in there with their
Okay.
emails,
So that is a
And then
contact,
and then if you
that'll be the same website.
let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, sorry. Let me just write this down.
Yeah.
Add admin down. So office manager, zoning director, or
No, and then I was going to say, so zoning director and Harley, I don't know what the title is on the webpage. I haven't looked, but those two,
okay,
put them in the zoning tab.
got it,
So,
got it.
so before
And that'll
we-
be like we'll add a contact.
And then see the
Feature in
bottom
there.
one. Yep, and see the bottom one, service director.
Yep.
If you put service director,
Is he official? He's not official.
and
Is he officially?
the service director, you could put him in the service department on that home page. If you could embed him in the
I don't know. Do we put that in?
so when you click general information, embed him in there, service director, in that.
Yes.
Actually embed him in the post.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha. So basically, we're taking this about us section, and we're just going to break them up into the different sections within the app, right?
Right, and then real quick, add
We'll create a
the
contact feature
add the
Yep.
legal to the administration tab too. Sorry, I forgot he was
to
in
the
there.
admin. Okay, perfect. Nope, that makes sense. Admin and legal. What about office manager
Yeah, add. So she'll be an admin with Mike.
under admin?
Yep. So
Okay.
It's Mike Mannery, Mike Patriarca, and Karen will be in the admin and the legal.
So,
And did we have fire chief in there?
No, but he's in fire department. If you're going to add an about tab in fire, right, or contact us,
Yep.
maybe
and
in
that embed him
Yep,
in there
and
and put
then
him as
I'll
the
add-
chief.
Got it. Okay, perfect. All right, I can make that happen.
That'll keep you busy.
So then, one of the other thing I had, so under community.
Mhm.
Oh,
Should we add parks?
Yes, community. Sorry.
do we have, I don't, maybe we have something, maybe we don't, but can we do like an upcoming events?
Or yeah.
If we don't have that, it would be nice.
So we're gonna two things we want to add there: an events tab,
You want to just say upcoming events?
upcoming events, or yeah, whatever you think's best, and then maybe a parks tab, because we're gonna have multiple parks, and we can list the parks in there.
So with the parks, we actually have a map feature that you guys can manage from the control panel.
Okay.
And it'll actually have like, your area, and it'll have the different parks on the map. And then when you click on it, it'll actually give you directions to that map, or sorry, that park.
Okay, cool. So that you'll have a tab in there, and then when you click on it, it'll open up a map with the parks.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
So do you guys have a list of the parks anywhere that I can
I'll email them
pull
to you.
from?
I'll email them to you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. And then upcoming events, what do you want that to be? We do have a calendar feature
Yes.
within the control panel as well.
We don't have that much stuff. Though.
Do you guys want to do that?
So I was more thinking we
List?
would do a list that, we've got,
Okay.
that I guess we could get text for. I mean, the
we
movie
would
night.
just add them in there. We would just plug
Yeah.
them and play in order. Just general font. Like 2-2-21 XYZ. 3-5-21 ABC. That kind of deal.
So I will say, I don't know if this calendar probably doesn't have the community events that you're talking about, right?
No, right now
Probably not, and I think that
Okay.
boy, if somebody's looking for something,
we don't do enough, like Josh said.
yeah, I absolutely hate when I go to my kid's school's web page and I'm looking for something and I got to go to this calendar of events, and I hate those. Sort
Yeah,
of
just,
things.
we'll just put it in a list. We only have
Okay.
5 a year, so it'd be easier for us to just list them out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And Gabe, will you be giving me that, or I'll just make it a page and then you guys can add in the details?
Right, because
Yeah.
we're with all this going
Okay.
on. We don't know where we're at right now. So
Got it. Okay. Community upcoming event. Okay, so add to submenu. Let me just make sure I write that down. All right, got that.
And then the at the bottom, right to three dots with more, so back to the kind of the homepage.
This,
What
Yep.
what's down there? What do we like? What are our options? I mean, is that kind of like stuff that are those all links? Is that how that is, or
yeah, so these are, let's see, yeah, it looks like we just kind of grabbed some, good information based on your website.
okay?
And we kind of put them in here. The more is a good section to it's kind of like overflow. You're limited on 9 buttons, but this will allow you to, in the future, you don't have to pick and choose. Oh, I want to remove, service department or whatever it is. You guys can always just put it here if you guys want to.
Yeah, I like the other because it just gives you the ability to. It's a catch-all for everything else.
Right.
One thing though, move that top one in others trustees meeting to the trustees tab.
Okay.
So it'll say meet your trustees, meeting minutes, trustee meetings.
Move. Yep, I like that.
So
Move trustee
so there is a calendars.
meeting.
There's a calendar
Yeah.
button there.
I was actually going. Yeah, I was going to remove it from here and put it.
In community.
I guess we decided on page. Yeah, I guess we decided on putting a page though in the community section. So I was just going to completely remove this calendar if
Sounds
that's what
good.
you guys wanted.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Okay.
we put it under the community, and I mean, I like the way it looks, and
Yeah.
again, I like the fact that it's not just linking you to the web page. It looks
Right.
like it's part of the app. So
Right, and a benefit of this calendar, I will say is, if you come in here and you manage it through, especially if there's like 5 events, what's really cool is when you go to create the event, the person can actually add it to their own personal calendar, so they can get like a notification of when that event's coming up, 2 days before or what have you. So that's just one of the benefits.
So-
Again, all of this stuff, if you guys want to change that out down the road, that's an easy change for us.
So, Chris, is there a way to do the calendar so on our side it looks like a calendar, but then when you open the calendar tab, it only lists them in sequential order on that tab,
Yeah.
and then you can click on it instead of having a whole calendar there? Does that make
Yes, so this will actually be a list view. So
Oh,
let
that's
me
what we want. That's
create
what
like a
list
test.
view, right? A list.
yeah, that's what we're
So
trying.
we'll
It's
schedule
great.
this to start.
Yeah, so
Okay,
that's
got it.
what we're after. So we don't want them
So
to have to fish through a calendar, but if we can, on our end, we put them in the
Yes.
calendar, but then it puts them in a list in chronological order, and they can click on it and
Yes.
it adds to their calendar. That's perfect.
Yes, that's exactly what this will do. I apologize.
Just dummy in
So
two
it'll-
events.
it'll-
Dummy in two. Perfect. Dummy in 2 events so we can just see what it looks like. Could you?
Yeah. So that one was scheduled for, let's see, I'll just go ahead and do a new one.
February 2nd.
Test two, I'll change the color. Those are categories.
Yeah.
Start date we'll do at the beginning of March. End date we'll say it's the end of March as well, or beginning of March. We won't add an address or anything like that, but you can add an address
Yeah.
to that as well, so they can even get directions to that
Address,
event.
location. Yeah, see, that's
Now
slick.
you got 2 if you just refresh that page.
Oh, see, that's perfect.
There
This
you
is
go.
exactly what we want. Yeah.
Community.
So this is perfect.
Yeah.
So you don't have to create recreate the wheel. This is exactly what we were looking for, and I like doing it this way
Okay.
versus a static list because if they can click on the event, add it to their calendar, find directions, that's pretty sweet.
And you're gonna move that under
Yeah.
Community.
Yes.
and
Okay.
call it like
Perfect.
Yes.
calendar of events or
Yep.
upcoming events or
Upcoming events.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that'll work out really well.
Can you see what these guys think, but the same thing under trustees for trustees meetings? Can we do that? And he can load them in and it'll just list them in sequential order and they can click on it and it'll have the live stream link and everything built into the date?
Yeah, and you can even put the descriptions so there can be greater detail, so you can
I like that
do
too.
that, and then
What
we
do you
can
guys
do
think
that.
about that? No, I mean,
Mike's like, when do I retire? And I'm like, I like it. The only thing is updating it gonna
well,
be
you Just going to, when you update
Yeah.
the calendar, it automatically updates it on the app, right?
Then you don't have to send us an email, because it'll.
I don't know if it does or not.
No, so you'll have to update it in the control panel.
Well, that's what I meant. In the control panel, where the calendar is,
Oh, yeah.
and then it'll update
Yes.
it automatically in the app, right?
Correct.
No,
Correct.
that's okay.
That's
I
easy.
gotta do that on the website.
Right, that's what you're doing
Okay,
anyways,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay, so we want to put. So under trustees, we want to make. Okay, so we're going to make the sub menu, meet the trustees, meeting minutes. That was going to be the link that's already there.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you guys want to do trustees calendar? Or
I would put
events?
meeting dates. Put
What
that.
you
Do
want to
that.
Name it
Right. Meeting dates.
meeting. Okay. And that'll be a separate
Hopefully
calendar.
that's something-
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
it should, okay.
What I mean, if it becomes too much, one of us can manage putting the dates in. If
Well,
he
it can
feels
be-
overwhelmed with the shit that he's got to do, you
Yeah.
know what I mean. So
Well, if we set them early.
simple enough,
and
we can
then-
delegate some of the easy stuff to some of us if necessary.
Okay.
Well, so I mean, the fire department will manage their own, right? I mean, that's easy enough. So they'll take that out of Mike's hand. Fire department will manage their own tab.
Yeah.
I mean, that's simple enough, and we'll teach Bill. It'll be easy enough. A few couple things he can go in and plug if we need to, and
Bill's a computer geek, he'll get it.
yeah.
Yeah, and what's really cool, guys, is that when you guys can actually give like app administration, user admins, and you can actually give like for the fire department, you can give them only access to edit fire department stuff,
Okay, cool.
Okay.
and zoning, give them only access to edit zoning stuff.
Harley loves it. She can't wait. So that's perfect.
Yeah. I didn't have anything else.
No, that sounds good. I think we're good.
Mike, did you have anything? Anybody else that had access
good.
to it? Any comments, questions, ideas?
No,
I
I think
had one thought pop up about the trustee meetings being listed in sequential. I think it might be easier, and this is just my opinion, but I think it might be easier if someone goes in and a calendar pops up and then they can see what the next ones are versus the words trustee meeting, trustee meeting.
Well, it's gonna have the date in there. It'll have the date and time right on there. So when you list it up, it'll be.
That might just be the way my brain works.
Then you just press on it, then it can.
Yeah, I think it's better that way because, like Josh said, you need to go searching through a calendar. So this way, I'll just list them all, and you can just see them February, March, and the dates, and it'll be right there. Then they click on them and open up their calendar on their phone, and they can put it right in there.
The stuff that's linked to the webpage right now, like the fire department apparatus page, if we change that on the webpage, does it change automatically on this?
Yes, Chris. Anything that's linked to the web page, when we change the web page, it's a direct link anyway, so it'll change it right in the app. Correct?
That is correct. For example, if you an example of that would be like for right now, trustees is a web link. So if you guys update this with today's meeting minutes, it'll reflect that.
Okay.
So yeah, anything updated on your website will be updated inside of here.
And then, because I guess I'm a little OCD, so like when you hit the service department tab, contact us is at
Yes.
the bottom, which is fine. I don't care.
Yes, we can put all those. We can put all those to the top.
I mean, I'm fine with it at the bottom, but when you go to fire department, when you create the contact us there,
Yeah.
can you also put it at the bottom?
Yeah,
Or at
Yeah.
wherever.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
as long as it's the same.
just
Yeah, same place for each. If we have a contact us thing,
yeah,
it's the engineer in me, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I'm good.
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, and once we get these changes, I'll send it over to you guys. None of these changes are terribly challenging. Probably just take some time to get through my terrible handwriting more than anything. But yeah, we'll get these changes in there, and that should be. I'm hoping by the end of this week we'll have those changes done, and you guys can reflect on them. And then just to give everybody a heads up, so once we get approval to release the app, what will happen is in 7 to 10 days, or we'll start the release process. It'll take about 7 to 10 days to release the app, and that's Apple and Google approving The app is good to go inside the store. In those 7 to 10 days, what our team will be doing is creating a marketing kit for you guys to send out to the public and share out through social media and promote the app. And then we'll also, in those 7 to 10 days, schedule a time we can go through the control panel training and show you guys all the bells and whistles within there. It should take probably less than 10 days, to be honest with you, to get approved, but we always give a little buffer window.
Hey, Chris, so you're going to do the marketing piece. If I do the animated video like the sheriff did, can you put that in that piece that you're going to use? Or should that be separate?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. I'll work with you on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gave
We
me
do our-
he gave
we
me the
do our
information to
own
do that.
video.
So what's up?
Yeah. We do our own video.
Oh, okay.
In the marketing kit, but if if you watch it and then you want to do your own, we certainly can help out in that way.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw his, but he used this. It's pretty good. He did it on his own. He showed me the app and
Was
stuff.
that was that Sheriff Leon Bruno?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, we can all work with you, Gabe, on that.
Okay, cool.
I guess in the meantime, since we're doing the trustee page with the little bios, I mean, I guess everybody think of or jot something down that you want under you, and then if we can get them all pulled together, we can, assuming we're all here in
Yeah.
9 days.
All
8
right.
days.
Okay, we good?
I'm good.
All right, we'll let you go.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, man.
Chris.
Thank you.
Later.
Did you realize Bill was bald on top there?
Can we start on the other side now, or are we?
I know, I think, I was standing here
Oh.
yesterday.
Well, it's a
and
work
I'm
session.
looking down at myself, and I'm seeing.
He started at 5, I think.
There's like, damn.
You started the work session at 5, right, Mike?
We did,
We're
yes.
in the work session. We
Okay.
started, yeah. And we are streaming.
We are streaming, okay. I see that.
I sure did.
They can't see you, can they? I thought the camera was gonna show you,
It does. It's right there.
but it's supposed to show the other seat too.
Well, it would be,
Can you move the camera?
yeah, if there's, no, well, I can't, Sean can, but no, that's because that image is so,
It's
the
a
image is small. It needs to
Squared up.
be-
It's not a full image.
Okay.
So, yeah, you
Is
can
Chris
see
still
all
on?
over.
Why don't you kick him off, and then we can see him more?
No, we want Chris on.
I thought he's off.
No, you want Sean on. You don't want Chris on, right?
Chris is on. He should be gone. Oh, I thought you said Sean, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not quite sure how to do that. Jeremy's on.
It's kind of cool. I pulled up the meeting on my cell phone to the app while we were doing this. It's pretty cool. Couldn't see much, it was so small, but.
I removed him.
I don't think the,
What? What's the problem?
We still have Chris up there. Just trying to get him off the screen.
So I just sent you guys a text message, you and Josh. You want to see?
Chris, or Sean, Sean? He's on.
For resolutions, see what they use. City of Painesville uses one too.
Sean?
I saw it on there and thought,
Looks nice, huh?
yeah. So I mean,
A little more
give it a little
official.
flair. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, the seal thing?
Yeah. Painesville uses one on their resolutions.
Mentor uses one?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Mentor use-
they can't be that expensive. I
That's
would
what I'm
think.
thinking. Couple. Yeah.
I mean,
All right. So I'll find them and see how much they are. I feel like the one-time purchase of a bunch would last us a long time.
Anytime you're ready to continue.
I was waiting to see if Chuck was clicking away over there. Are you looking for something?
Just bring it up. I'm waiting for you, dude.
All
I
right,
got
all
this
right.
ready to go.
Sorry, I gotta get my coffee and all that. All right,
He's trying to pass the blame because he's not ready.
continue on with the.
I was waiting for Chuck. Oh, Mike, I was waiting for
Chuck.
you.
Yeah.
There
Make
we
sure
go.
you're fully paying attention. All right.
And there you can see Mike.
That's a nice view.
Jason now.
Thanks, Sean.
Okay, work session. I don't know.
We'll talk about later, but I feel like it could be.
Fiscal officer.
Nothing,
All right.
Making progress.
Making progress, a little slow, but
other than the resolution that you guys wanted to. Allow the state to send you a, email if we don't file our bank reconciliation.
legal.
Jeremy had said that had been contacted by the property owner at 1650, his attorney, to inquire about the status of the similar use petition. And I think Jeremy wanted to speak with the trustees about that, give them an update.
Yeah, and I just wanted to mention that he had contacted us because he did. It was Eric Walter, just contacted to see what was going on, and it took him a while to even do that. So nothing major, no reason to take any action. Had some discussion with Mike about it. I know you guys are still thinking about that one, so we just wanted to let you know just that he had reached out to see if you guys had done anything with it yet. We let him know you didn't, and we didn't know if you're going to be, so we just said we'd mention it. So we're mentioning it, but no need to take any action or anything.
Okay. I don't know if we want to, plan to discuss it in the next work session.
Nothing to discuss, right?
Well, just gotta make a decision. So
Gotta make a
we should
decision.
Discuss it next time, and
Yeah, so we'll discuss it next work session and,
See where we're at. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. So are they expecting you to call them back with an answer of,
No, I think he just was probably going through his to-do list, and we came up next, and so he called. So we have an obligation to let you know that he called. That's all.
so I guess,
Just I would just put it on the next meeting. We can talk about it again next meeting,
okay, sounds good.
and that's all. I don't have anything else to report.
Okay. Mike,
Okay, I
I
wanted
don't know
to,
if is your microphone on?
is it? Yep.
Okay.
I don't have firm quotes about the LED sign for out in front. I've talked to 2 vendors just to get preliminary information. And the reason for bringing it up today is just to let the trustees know that our NOPEC grant is $34,000, and this LED sign will take upwards of $30,000. And as I'm going forward, there's a couple of big projects that we wanted to talk about, replacing windows in Township Hall and that. I guess what I'm looking for is, should I still pursue everybody, or are we going to focus?
Who did you say just put one in?
Madison Village put one in. I talked to them.
Okay, and theirs was 30.
It was 28. Yeah, and that's the off-the-cuff number I got from that company today when I was talking with them. Is 28, probably. Until they come out and look and they give you a firm quote, it can
Sure.
change a little bit. But I know we're between the $25,000 and $30,000 range by talking to 2 companies that provide this.
Okay.
That's just FYI for now.
There could be zoning issues with that, because remember when I sat on the zoning commission, when I first got appointed, this was one of the first things we spoke about. And we ended up up putting a whole section in there or modifying the section.
Fairboard's got one.
I know, but this is in a residential neighborhood, so it's not that you can't have one, but when you're in a residential neighborhood, different sets of rules come into play. So before we go too far down that rabbit hole, we might wanna look into that and see how we're sitting, because there might be issues to do it on Nye Road.
Yeah, again, I don't know that,
Well, I think the trustees probably get a variance if we decided to do it.
I don't, there's a whole lot of, Rich, did Rich raise his hand? No. I don't know.
Rich,
that-
hear you,
Can't
Rich.
hear you, Rich. Ri-
Okay,
There you go.
okay. I just wanted to mention Chuck's microphone is not coming through very well.
It's on.
Chuck's not talking loud enough? That's strange.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Uh-oh, it's cutting out, Mike.
Test 1, 2, 3,
There
test,
you go.
test, is that good?
That's good. That's
Okay,
good.
so, Rich, what I was saying was, when I first came on the zoning commission, whatever that would have been, 2011, 2010, somewhere in that time frame, we put in a section on digital displays. And when they are in residential neighborhoods like we are here, there's a different rules that come into play. And I said there might be some problems that we have to be aware of as far as doing that. We'd have to get a variance if we did it, but we have things there that state it.
yeah.
For here in the town.
That's correct. They are prohibited in residential zoning districts.
So if we gave ourselves a exception to that, it might not look very good.
Well,
I don't know, do we
Well,
get,
Wouldn't it be better to, so when I lived in Eastlake, they stuck it on, like, the city hall, stuck one on the corner of 91, right where the ballpark is, 91 and Vine Street. They worked with the business, which was the ballpark, and actually they owned it at that point, but they stuck one right there. It's a major traffic point, and everybody goes past it. So if you could work with somebody in the community who would let you do it, it's a better spot.
that seems like a better spot than here.
I agree.
And-
But it sounds like it might be moot if we're going to do windows anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have a ballpark on windows and,
No,
okay.
no, not yet. They have to come out and
okay. And then HVAC, possibly it's a service garage.
I've got the list from last month,
Okay.
but we can have the LED sign or all that other stuff. And that's why we're talking, is just give me direction and I'll chase after all of it if you want me to.
I guess if you're this far down the path on the sign, at least see if you can get a firm,
Or just
more
have
firm
I mean,
price.
at this point, have Madison just send you their invoice so we just see what they
did.
paid.
They did.
Oh,
they were
I thought
28.
you said they
Okay.
gave you a ballpark. They actually sent you the invoice?
The two companies I spoke with were Signs and Stuff and Neon.
Sure.
Yeah, and they gave me a ballpark, we're talking casually.
Okay.
Madison did send me their invoice and they were right around 28.
Okay.
So yeah, we're looking at, okay. Yeah, I guess,
I mean, so we have an idea where we're at. So I guess let's get the windows and stuff and see. What
How much are the windows going to cost?
We have no idea.
Don't know, 17 windows, I don't know. I've left messages at two companies today, but they have to come out to
It's gonna be
measure
30
and
grand.
give us a quote. So
That
I'll
much?
have that,
17
probably. the
windows,
next meeting.
$200 a piece.
It's 3,400, right?
Oh yeah, 30. Oh yeah, 3,400. Oh yeah, so we might have.
well, HVAC.
We'll see where we're at.
Well, and I was looking at the letter from NOPEC, or a letter, and it talked about like escrowing the money for future projects, possibly.
Well, we've done that in the past. I don't know if they're not guaranteeing that this grant will be offered again next year.
Right.
Okay.
This year, it actually wasn't gonna be offered this year, and
Take the
and
money
you can
and
tell
run.
we got less money in the grant this year, so they're spending down their whatever pool they have for these grants. They're unwilling to commit to whether they'll have it again next year.
I would say pursue the windows
Yeah, let's get some quotes. See where we're at.
and the
Okay.
HVAC and, yeah, any other energy efficiency.
I think we about got it.
Okay.
The Fairport Senior Center, Citizen Center, I don't know if somebody contacted him after the last work session, but before I could reach out to him, I got a letter from Chris Yano at the Fairport Senior Citizen Center, providing the information we'd asked a year ago.
One of you two.
What? I sent you the letter. She's just asking, can we have our
From
it was
last
my
year,
term
right?
now, your $3,500 from last year, yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah. Let's do it. We didn't do it last year, and we got it this year, so it's fine with me.
Money's there.
Yeah, so 3,500
$7 grand.
or 7,000. What's the number?
She was requesting $3,500 for 2020,
And 2020.
and for
The
2021.
letter
She didn't ask
says-
for 2021.
yeah, the letter says both.
It does?
It says I'm requesting for 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
thought I
I'm sorry.
read.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, so I guess just we'll have to verify that they didn't get 2020 money.
She did, I'm sorry. Oh, I know they didn't. I talked with Karen. They did not.
Oh.
We did not write anybody, either sent her a check last year.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Maybe she just remembered that we had told them that they had to submit a letter, so. Good.
Okay, I'll have that for the next meeting.
Okay. Anything else, Mike?
Yes, sorry, just catching up on my notes here.
Okay.
I think I have one last item. Whatever
Oh, timing for newsletter.
Yeah, the timing for the newsletter. I sort of prefer to send it out towards the end of February because I can use it to promote the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Josh is wondering if we should send it maybe sooner, just because we haven't had one in a while, so it's up to you guys when we send it out. It's not ready to go this week. I still have to write most of it.
So I can't remember. Did we just do 3 last year?
We did 3 last year. We typically do 1 a quarter. We didn't do one in the 4th quarter because I kept not thinking of something that was worth writing about besides COVID. We did, yeah.
Well, if we just do 3, then I'll be able to write my, since I'm home and it's not ready yet to go.
Well, Josh already wrote it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Which, for something else, or?
For street paving. What were you gonna do?
I was gonna do something about the park and the pavilion, but I'll do that in the spring when we actually do it, so that's fine.
Yeah. I guess my thought is if we push it too far, it's gonna be a squeeze to get 3 done, or 4 newsletters in. We call it the quarterly newsletter.
It was a quarterly newsletter, but we haven't been on a regular schedule for years. Once we started doing the community events, we started pushing the timing of a letter going out to be shortly before an event, like movie night or family fun day or St. Patrick's Day. So it's not in exactly every 3 months it goes out, but we've always gotten 4 out until last year. And last year, yeah. So if we send one out at the end of February, we can still get 3 out this year. Again, play with the timing, the match up with events.
Well, so I guess that's the question. Do we want to go with 3, or do we want to try to get 4 in?
We can get 4.
Oh, okay. You said like 3 additional. You meant.
Oh, yeah, 3
Okay.
additional. Yeah, we
All right.
can get, if we even do this at the end of February, we can still get, that's the 1st quarter. We can still get 3 more in for 4 for the year.
Okay. What do you guys think? I mean,
Yeah, well,
wait.
no, let's do it, let's get it done.
Do what?
Let's get one out, you got one ready, let's go.
Okay?
Everything's written, go.
Yeah.
No, it's not written. I've got articles from everybody, but it'll take me 2 days to put this stuff together, get the information from the post office, get the checks, and you have to sign the check at the next meeting anyway, so.
All right,
But
you got-
I can get it going. The point is, I can get it going now, or I can wait till February.
Let's get it going,
Towards the end of February.
especially if we didn't do it in the winter.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So in the future, maybe shoot for January, if we can. I don't know. Yeah, I just want to try to get 4 out and not.
We've always
Crunch
gotten
'em.
4 out, and I would ask you to leave the timing to me, because we send one out towards the end of November, beginning of December, to be for the children's Christmas party, so you don't want one in January. This was the only year we didn't get, last year was the only year we didn't get 4 out, and that was more because of COVID. There wasn't much to suggest we write about. So the 4 a year isn't a problem. I just need to know if you want me to work on this one now or in a couple of weeks.
I'll defer to you guys. I don't care.
Let's just get them done, just got them
Okay.
ready, almost ready to go,
All
we
right.
just gotta put it together, let's
Okay.
get the content. Especially since we didn't do one in the winter.
Got it. It'll be out soon, next week.
And we're doing a check for Provision, right? He wants a check.
Well, no, the check that we give to
Oh, post
Provision is actually made out to the post office. When they take our newsletters to the post office to be mailed, they have to hand the post office a check for the postage.
Okay.
So the check is made out to them. Provision bills us and we pay them normally, like any vendor.
Well, 'cause we have the postage, the business clerk.
We got a permit, we got a permit, so we get a
That's not how
discount on the
that's not how, I don't think, we don't send it out that way, they give it to everybody. It's a general circulation.
No, we have, yeah, but we have a permit.
Sure, but it's not a direct mail permit. We
No,
just.
no, it's not direct.
Okay, okay.
It is a permit, and it's under our name, so we have
Yeah.
to check.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Permit holder.
But I think it's probably a couple days for you to wrap up stuff.
Yes.
Provision's gonna take a couple days.
They're gonna take at least a week.
Okay, so yeah,
Minimum.
okay, so
So
yeah,
we're gonna be there anyway.
okay. Okay,
That's what I have, Mr. Chairman.
thank you. Fire. Shouldn't yell fire. Fire chief.
Careful not to knock the microphone off. Update on our vaccines,
Do you want to tip the mic up just?
No, when you tip the mic up,
Oh.
it causes feedback.
Oh, never mind, don't tip the mic.
okay, can you hear me now? All right.
I
I
can.
can hear you.
All right.
Can you hear him okay, Rich? Or guys?
Okay. Anyways, update on the vaccine. About 80% of our guys have it now. We are, as of today, was the second dose for over half of them, and then we got like 3 guys that are going next week, a couple, stragglers, but, like I said, it'll be about 80% of our guys, so I think, a couple weeks after that, for next month, we'll definitely be off, in my opinion, go off of COVID staffing and go into regular staffing, and save us some overtime, stuff like that. Especially since we aren't picking up CARES money to pay for the overtime.
Chief, just out of curiosity, are we going to top out at 80%, or do you expect more?
I expect there'll be a couple of guys that, as time goes on, will decide to do it, as they see that we're, not
Growing a third
growing
arm.
tentacles or things like that they might decide, but,
Okay.
or microwaves aren't affecting us and that, there'll be a few guys that are waiting to see how people get affected.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah, but right, 80% is pretty good. Talking to most of the other departments, anywhere from 40 to 70%, depending on which department. Seems like as you go east of here, the number goes down, and I don't know why that is, but it just more rural departments that way. So it seems like the rural departments aren't getting the vaccines the same as the like denser communities like Willoughby and stuff like that. And I think it's simply because they don't have the numbers that the more condensed communities do. I'm guessing. I really don't know. But anyways, that's where we're at. But we did find out that we staffed an ambulance 3 times, and we knew that probably we would get reimbursed for that, because any other time that we've done anything with the health department, we've gotten reimbursed. And I just got word that FEMA is reimbursing for those costs, and that the county is going to be the collection agency for that. So we're gonna send our staff bills to the county, and the county's gonna collect from FEMA and then redistribute it to us. So they're gonna collect for the whole county.
And is it just staffing they're gonna cover, or do they also cover?
Right now, it's just staffing.
Okay,
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
Right now, it's just staffing. I don't know if we, our ambulance, we're pretty much donating it at this point.
Okay.
But we're also we're using our backup ambulance, so it's not, not taking anything out of a service or anything like that, so. But speaking of the county, they have a new system, and some of you may already know about this. It's a WEN system, but it's a reverse 911. They've always had reverse 911, so I can call our dispatch and say, we have a chemical spill here, we need to evacuate an area, and they can call everybody in this area within whatever parameters I give them, and evacuate the area. They put in a new system with that called a WEN system, which basically does the same thing, but it's called wireless emergency notification system. So it does wireless phones. So instead of because right now the reverse 911 just called landlines. Yeah, the wireless system will notify anybody with a cell phone, but people have to register for it, and there's going to be a big push on registering for it and things like that.
When you have the link, can you send it to me?
Absolutely. I have it now. I mean, I will send
Send it to me so I can post it.
Right. Okay, great.
before you post it, try to do it yourself. I ran into problems with. I
Did
tried
you
to do
really?
it. Yeah, because City of Menor, right? They had an agreement with the state to help produce a video for it or something, and
Yes.
so I tried to do it, and I I had issues. I don't know if I had fat fingers and wasn't typing things right or what.
I don't
but-
know.
So,
I mean, it's not just a phone number and hit
Yeah,
submit.
it's a web link.
It's a web
I
link,
know,
and then
but
you
you
put
just-
your phone number in. It's got a
Yeah.
page you fill out, yeah.
I mean, should be able to.
That seems pretty simple, right?
Well,
I don't know.
here's the thing,
I had issues with the
talking
web
to the
link.
EMA director, who's actually pretty much in charge of this, he says that they're going to look at opening it up to communities to advertise events and stuff, doing the reverse 911.
No, people love that.
What's
Oh,
that?
boy.
People love that.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's up to you guys, if you guys wanted to do something like that, if you had, you know, you wanted to do, you know, the, family fun day and wanted a 911 calls to go out to an area and say, hey, this is going on at Riverside, especially if you're gonna do fireworks or something like that, so. really
Something like
good idea.
That I agree,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but a
Yeah.
general event, that might be a little.
Yeah.
Well, with the app too, if people have the app.
Well, yeah,
our
because the app, they can
we
send it
can
up
do
for
push
notifications, so if
notifications.
we post something, we push a note, we
Yeah.
can push notifications. So you'll have the ability, and we can have Chris show us that, but you have the ability to push a notification
Oh,
out.
I do?
Yes.
Okay, great, yeah.
So if there's something like
Oh, yeah.
that anybody that signs up, when they download the app, like any app, it asks, do you want to allow notifications? So they'll click allow.
I noticed that I'm getting notifications on weather alerts through that. Will that do just like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, and so, I don't know if you have a sheriff's app or not.
I don't.
Ooh, he's not here, so that's okay.
No,
Um,
I don't.
and I don't think he watches these, but same thing. I mean, they
Yeah.
push road closure for crashes and things like that.
Okay,
Now, I don't think you'd want to do that for fires because
Okay.
you might get fire chasers out looking around. But yeah,
No, but they probably go to most of these calls where they close the road, so it's something they can push out. Because by the time I see it to post on Facebook, it's an hour too late anyway. So this is,
Right.
they know immediately because they're on site.
sure.
Yeah.
They could go push it out right from there and say
Yeah.
Route 20 is closed at
It would be
whatever.
helpful, especially wires down in a
Right,
neighborhood
right. Yeah,
like
oh, yeah.
that,
And the more people we drive to use the app, then
Right.
the communication will be.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that, and like I said, the WEN system, just another tool that's what the county's going to be offering, so, and they asked me to bring it up to you guys, I said absolutely I would, so, there it is. The sheriff's department, the SUV, the commissioners did approve that donation, so beginning it, right now, they're taking the stripes off of it, we'll get it this week.
then we're going to get rid of the old K9 car.
Yes.
You're not going to just let it sit around.
Yes, and we actually have a couple of people interested in buying it already.
Perfect.
One of our firemen is interested, but also there's probably where to probably end up going is there's there's a guy that trains canines that basically just wants it to teach the canines to get in and out of the police vehicles. So he would use it just as a prop for his organization to train. So, and that's, depending, if he pays us what he's offering, I'm sure he was talking about $1,500 for it, and I said, well, you know, for that and the cage that's in it, because the cage won't fit the new vehicle.
Okay.
So, and again, I'll bring it up if that comes through, but either one. But yes, we're selling it.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I don't want it sitting
Me
around.
either.
All right, Ganley Dodge did match the state bid for the price of the Durango. It's going to be $27,951, which is state bid on that. And I think there's a resolution to be out with, be on the agenda, right? I believe it is.
I think so. Karen
Okay,
did that.
yeah, thank you.
Agenda.
I thought Karen put it on, I wasn't sure. All right. Okay, the mechanic out of service, I keep saying that, but there's some things that we had to get done, or we have to get done. One of them is the squad that he was working on, it still needs wiring, the wiring inside the vehicle. I mean, the squad's done, the wiring is the only thing not done, it's just sitting there. We did find a company that does remounts, we sent it to them, and they're gonna do the rewiring, finish the job, so we can get that truck in service,
So where is that going to go? Which?
It went to,
I'm sorry. What station? Is that going to stay over at Station
it's
3?
gonna stay at 3.
And then the one at 3?
What are you trying to do, take it for two?
No.
Two got a new one.
We can get a new one. It's just gonna be a backup squad sitting at Station 3. Actually, I think 3's gonna, they'll probably put it front line to just make sure all the bugs are out of it, but it's a good squad. It can go wherever we need it at any time at a given second. So that's a good thing. We have a really great backup squad. And then we'll keep the old squad that's at Station 2 temporarily. Nothing's really wrong with it right now. It's old, but it's still running, and we'll keep that one just to cover the fairgrounds and the football game, things like that. Until we have to put some money in it, and we just won't do it after that.
Okay.
I mean, that's my opinion, but I wouldn't. All right. The other thing is, we had the engine at Station 1. We had it at Countryside. It was there for a couple of things that were wrong with one of them being an antifreeze leak, and it needed a new radiator. And apparently, I know that when Sean did it, it cost us, it was over $2,000 for the radiator when Sean put one in. And for Countryside to put it in with labor and everything, it was about $5,000. So, yeah. So our prices are going up for our labor costs, and hopefully his shoulder gets better quickly. But those are the kind of things that, we're trying to keep those down, but,
How long is he out for, Chief?
6 months, and he went out in the beginning of, or the end of November, so.
That was the rotator cuff?
Yes.
Oh, that's more than 6 months, isn't it?
They
I mean, for him to start doing real stuff?
Yeah, they told him 6 months, but we'll see.
Well, that must be okay.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, well, I hope, because like I said, our costs are gonna be higher because, honestly, $5,000 for a radiator, and I was sticker shocked, but that's just what it is. And our engine, this is another thing too, the new engine, 23 at Station 2, Sean would normally be able to do the warranty work on that because he's certified through Sutton, but since he can't, we have to send it back to Sutton later this week. There's some problems with the roll-down doors aren't shutting properly, and the alarm keeps going off on the dash. And they came out and looked at it, and they said the best thing for them to do was to take it back and give us all new doors. So I said, all right, whatever you gotta do. So they're putting all new roll-up doors on it, but it's gotta go back to their facility, and it'll be there for a week or so.
And we drive it down there.
We'll drive down there and take it down. It actually goes down on Thursday.
And, okay.
And it'll be there for a week, and we'll go down and pick it up. Yeah.
How do other communities because they sell outside of Ohio, is there like service dealers
There are some.
that
There
they
are
would go
some,
to?
But I think in Ohio, they just bring everything back to their facility in Ohio pretty much, so, yeah. All right, the dorm rooms are pretty much done at both stations. I don't know if you saw the article in the News Herald. They were, like I said, they look good. The bathroom over here just needs some finishing touches on it. And I just today got a concept drawing for a bathroom at Station 2. I haven't got the price on it yet, but he did send me a picture of what he wants to do, and he said he was gonna get me the price probably, well, he said later today, but I haven't seen it.
So are they sleeping in the rooms then?
They are sleeping in the rooms. They're using them now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Also, he's looking at pushing it.
Yeah, making it even bigger.
Oh, I'm putting 2 back there.
Yeah, which, I'll look at the price of that, but I'm thinking we may wanna keep it to 1. Cause I think, yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty pricey. But I don't know. Like I said, he hasn't sent it to me yet, so.
Okay.
The exhaust systems are pretty much done, and still working on this latest round of AFG grants. It's got to be in first week of February, which is like second week. I think it's through the 12th, but it's almost done. I'm still tweaking it, trying to make it sound good. And then we did receive from a regional grant from the Marks. It's called the Ohio State Fire Marshal's grant for radios. We put in regionally for most, I think, all the East End departments, for east of Menor, we put in as a group, and we asked for $50,000 a department. That was a max award. Well, we got $10,000 award per department, so we're not gonna kick about it. But we did get a nice award for, like I said, for that $10,000 per department. buy radios. For us, I mean, radios are expensive, so it'll be like 4 radios, but it's still, it's a good grant.
Okay.
That's it, thanks.
All right. Wow. It's expensive radios.
What's that?
It's expensive radios.
Yeah, they're expensive, yeah.
All right. Service department.
Well, I was looking forward to coming and talking about the BWC grant that we were going to apply for. They only come around every few years, and the fire department has used them in the past, and well, I talked to Chief Huffman, and he said that he would be okay if we used it this time. It's a $40,000 grant that we would have to pay 25% of, so, we were going to apply for a jackhammer for the new excavator and a flail mower that would fit on it that one day we will need at the closed landfill to cut the slope, and a couple of tarp systems and a lift gate, and the lady from BWC called yesterday and said they're not doing the grant this year because all the money is being used for PPEs during this pandemic. So everything that we wanted to get would have qualified for. We'll just,
What they did was they reimbursed all of our contributions for several years, so we know we should have gotten it.
No, plus they sent a ridiculous amount of masks to everybody. I mean, I must have gotten
Right.
to every business unsolicited. I have 4 employees. I got 300 masks, like cloth masks,
So
not.
they're trying to get rid of them.
But I'm saying, so multiply that by how many businesses in the state of Ohio, how much they spent, you know. So now we, instead of getting it for stuff we need.
Did you get masks at your business? You're just not special like Gabe is.
So
so it.
is that a next
they're
year
hoping-
thing?
Well, it goes on a cycle, but, she's kinda hopeful that maybe by the summer, we can revisit it and still get in on our cycle.
Like cycle around counties and communities? Is that
Well,
around the state?
Well, it's based on your budget, so it's on either a 3-year cycle, a 7-year cycle, 10-year cycle, what are we?
I think we're 7.
7, okay, so,
So hopefully we wouldn't just get skipped over. I mean,
Right.
right, that would be the,
right, so.
okay.
I was looking forward to that, there was gonna be some good implements we could have used with that new excavator, but, and it still might happen, but just not as soon as I had hoped. We had to replace the diesel fuel pump at the service garage, the actual pump itself quit working, and, we upgraded it, it was a 20 gallon a minute, we went to a 35 gallon a minute, couple $1,000, we had to have a company come out and take care of that for us.
Your guys, fire department uses it as well, right? They use the same pump. Do
Yeah.
they know that's a faster pump? I mean, just, my only concern is, you know, if they think it's gonna take, 5 minutes to fill a tank or something, that if it's only gonna take 2 or 3
No,
minutes
it's-
now,
They've used it. I
they've used
assume
it, they
it's-
know,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we're good. It was taking 20 minutes to get 10 gallons. That's why we had to change it. That's too long to stand
It would
up there
limit, it would
cold.
limit
Right.
theft, I guess, right?
And then, one of our, large dump trucks was running poorly, and we had to take it over to Cerny, and it's in the emissions, the exhaust recirculation, and, of course, not something covered under warranty. And it's gonna be in the $4,000 range to get that fixed, but,
What type of truck was it? One of the old internationals?
it's an international,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Diesel.
7, 8 years old. It's just one of those things, with the emissions, gotta have it, so. So, Gabe, do we wanna talk about
Yeah,
farewell
let's,
times?
yeah, let's talk about,
Okay.
because I wasn't real clear what we discussed last time, so, and he didn't really remember, but we talked about timbering, right? And I said I knew somebody that did it, to see if they'd be interested in coming out, if there's anything that interested them, to come get the trees out.
Give us some
And-
money.
Yeah, or not
Or-
charge us and just get rid of them, like either way, right? Because instead of us paying somebody to come cut them down. He had mentioned something about whoever's doing it, but we own that land, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I thought
How
we
did that work? I thought we had to
They
own
gave
it.
us you're talking the regional basin?
Correct.
They gave us an easement on that property. We don't own it.
Okay.
So that's just an easement.
Oh, really?
That's
I
how I
thought we-
remember it. If I could
I
be
know, I thought there
mistaken, but I
was
don't
like,
think so.
I thought there was a lot of back and forth and it ended that we had to own it.
Let me look at see the GIS if it shows.
You got an easement to cut trees down, right?
I don't know.
But I don't know if that
Well-
would give us permission to cut them and sell them.
So we just want to.
Josh, am I right in believing that once you award a contractor the bid to put this pond in, and they have to take the trees down, they own the trees?
Yes.
It's up to them to remove them, so they own them, they can do what they want with them. So I just thought that we should be careful to not promise the trees to somebody else if,
So-
I don't know where we're at in the process. I know that we have to,
We haven't awarded the bid yet, right?
no, but we have to get the trees down,
So I'm getting at.
yeah.
So if we do that before we award it, that's a moot point, right?
But I know what T-Bor does, and I don't know if this is the kind of things that he wants. I mean, these might be not the kind of trees that,
Well, that's what I said. He said he'd come look at them, and
Yeah.
he said if it wasn't, he would,
okay.
you know, he
But we
knows
can't
it's
even
not.
look at them until they come out and mark them, till we even know which.
Okay,
Yeah, we do not own the land, so
okay.
that's another question that we would probably need to run through somebody, right, that even if we're gonna go out and just drop them, that, are we permitted to do that? I mean, we have an easement to build the pond, so, and it's part of the construction, but, so even if we just drop them and bid the contract for the pond, it's the contractor's responsibility to get rid of them at that point.
Yes.
But if we can do something before that's
Right.
bid, then we can,
If they're any value, we do it before, and we
Yeah.
reap that, then he won't, they don't have to include that in the bid. Because I'm sure they're gonna include a cost to do it in the bid,
yeah.
even if they're gonna, so,
Well, even if we can find somebody that wants to go in there and take some of them,
that's what I was getting
here's
at.
the deal: you go and you cut them all that we mark, and you
Yeah,
take
take
whatever
what you want, and don't pay us anything, but
Yeah.
don't charge
You
us.
don't charge us, yeah. And maybe that's the way to.
Okay, we have to wait until we hear from Sheila, right?
Yeah, the plan is that they will come out at the beginning of March and mark the trees with us so that we'll know which ones we have to take down.
All right.
Is this happening?
The trees, we're taking the trees out of order so that we don't go past the deadline in March for cutting them down, or
Because of
April
the
1st.
bat.
Because of the
So-
bats.
so-
Because
so
of the,
Sheila's got to come out, hopefully in February, this
Right.
month almost.
So we can come down in March.
Well, what she offered was she'll come out at the beginning of March and mark the trees with us. And in talking with Bill, we thought that was fine. We didn't think
Okay.
the
When's,
time was-
when's the deadline for their mating?
April 1st, I think.
Well, so that's,
It's a must. It's
it's pretty, yeah, it's kind of pretty close, so it's gotta be,
But we had also, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim Miller had said if the weather prevents us from doing it, we could hire somebody. That would be a permittable,
stormwater cost. That's
Stormwater
part of the project.
cost.
Yeah.
to what, mark the trees?
To
no,
cut them,
to cut them.
drop them.
If she doesn't come out till March and then the weather gets to the point where we can't go out and cut them, we can hire somebody.
why can't we just do it in
Yeah, but
February?
the
What's
cost isn't
point?
the issue, it's the timing,
Because
right?
Sheila's got to get out and mark them.
Yes.
Because they're specific trees. They actually have somebody on staff that's trained to identify the trees where these funky kind of bats are residing.
Why
And they-
can't,
kind
so
of
why
trees-
can't she come till March? What's the reason? Other than her saying, I'm coming March. I mean, what if-
Because we thought we had time.
Well-
You're the guys that don't agree with the time, with the
She-
rest
Just, you
of us-
gotta
Well,
admit
she
that
al-
when you get into government, if you're coming out in March and we have to meet an EPA deadline of April 1, that's cutting it pretty close,
But one of the
because everybody's
One of
busy.
the emails we had, she didn't think that it was good to let those trees lie
Too
for,
long.
for too long,
That's right, she did.
right?
She had a
That was-
reason why,
that was- Yeah,
because our plan was just to cut them and leave them
Yeah.
and let somebody else pick them up. And she said, well, then you shouldn't leave them laying there.
So
from
let's
now.
tell her that we have potential to get them cut and out of there if she'll come earlier, so we can stay ahead of. Because last thing, if we don't get this done by April, then we're done. Well, we're done for another year.
The option is go
Oh.
in there and cut everything.
Well, gentlemen, Bill and I discussed this, and we were really confident that we'll get it done. If you want us to change the schedule, we will, but if she comes out at the beginning of March, unless there's a snowmageddon, we will get it done. It's not gonna
Well,
be that many.
Yeah,
But if we can get somebody else to do it,
I don't know any contractor that is like sitting around doing nothing that, in a drop of a hat, can come remove trees that quickly. Do you?
we're
They
gonna,
don't have to be removed.
they just have to be cut down.
So who would drop them then? Are we talking our road department
Yes.
dropping them?
Yes.
Unless we can,
Okay.
unless we can find somebody that is interested in some of the timber, that would go out, cut everything out that we need
Yeah.
cut, and take away what they want.
But we can cut it, they can come take it, they're not gonna care if we cut it.
But if we don't need to send our guys out to
Send
cut it,
waste 4 guys out there
Yeah.
for how many days cutting down trees, or more, and equipment and et cetera. If somebody will come do it and get it out of our way,
And-
Well, until they're marked, Tibor's not gonna know
Correct.
if that's something that he's interested in.
Is there a specific type of tree that these bats made in?
There is, but I don't know what they are.
Well, what I'm getting at is, if Sheila knows what type of tree it is, can she advise us at least what type of tree it is? And I can tell Tibor, hey, we're gonna need these types of trees cut down, and he's gonna say, no, that's nothing I'm interested in, and then we know that a timber guy is not interested, and then we move on. So, and then we'll just know that you guys do it, and that'll help us in our planning. If we know that it's a maple tree, just for instance, he's gonna say, well, I don't want maple. No, I'm not doing it. Nobody's gonna want that timber. Then we know can be up to you guys or whatever to go that route. But if it's oak or whatever, oh yeah, we're interested in that. Then we can have a timeline to make sure we get it done. To have a timber guy come out and cut them down and take out, like Josh said, take those out plus the others as a deal, with no cost. So I think that's the point. If we can at least ask her the type of tree.
I don't know, we can try, I don't know if there's like a species.
Well, that's
that
what I'm
has-
getting
I
at.
know it has to do with the bark and
I can
other
just get
stuff.
the guy to go out there and take a look at it, he's gonna know if he wants it or not.
Yeah, but we need to know. We don't know what trees. But if she says they're oak trees that need to be cut, then the timber guy might be interested in oak or something.
Well, but here's the
you know.
thing, if we know where the pond's gonna be, we know every tree in that area is gonna be cut down anyway.
Right.
So if there is any value to him coming in and cutting them and saving us money down the road,
Let's see. Yeah, see if it's a species issue, Mike,
Okay.
or or like Josh said, if it's just something with different types with bark or whatever, so we can stay. Listen. I know you guys feel like you have the timeline, and I'm not doubting you. I'm doubting the fact the county says, oh, in the beginning of March. When's that, right? And then by the time you do that, then you find, so I'm just, somehow we'll miss a deadline like we did with the sidewalks, right? And we had to push it a whole season because we didn't make the deadline in time for the sidewalks. Remember that when that happened, right? Wasn't that what happened up on Madison Avenue?
we got them cut down like within a day or two of the deadline.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, but I thought originally it was supposed to happen like the year before, but we had to push it because of that, and then we got it done. They were ready to go, but we couldn't do it because the trees needed removed, and we were in the middle of that season, so we had to wait until the deadline to do the trees, and then we got them done just in time in order to do it the next time. But that's the way I remember it happening up there. But
So if we want to try to get somebody out there to cut them and take them out and save us the effort, I think
yeah,
it'd be pushing it. If Sheila marks them in early March, that might be an issue. But
So can she mark them early? Is that what we're saying? Get her out there
nicely
now?
ask if she'd be willing to mark them early.
No, I'll call her tomorrow.
Okay, great.
I just don't want to get caught on another year. I mean, this
That's
is.
what I'm saying, dude.
Well,
The last
I
thing
can't believe how slow government moves.
our guys can always go out there the last week of March.
I
and
know,
cut 'em
but-
if we have to.
We have to, I mean, you're not gonna miss the deadline because of that.
And then watch it snow, and then they can't go out
That's
there
what I'm
because it
saying.
snows.
Something will
What's
happen.
what Bill was saying? We can get Reynolds Tree Service, who's just down the road, and
Yeah, but dude, these guys generally are pretty busy, so. I mean, when you ask them to come out a tree, generally it's a couple weeks out, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, see? So that's what I'm getting at. If we get to a point, something will happen, we'll try to get somebody, they'll be 3-4 weeks out, and then we miss this April deadline, and now we're talking end of the season, so. I'd rather be safe and ask than get stuck.
it's all Chuck's fault. It's Chuck's fault.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. All right.
Dude, you know how long I fought for this thing?
Well, that's what I'm getting
This-
at.
this
has been
predates
so
me
long.
here.
The last thing we need is some bat to hold this up,
That would be another
I
one.
feel worse for these folks, but
Indiana. I think it's the Indiana.
probably 20.
Indiana bat and the Kirtland warbler.
Here, yeah.
Also a Kirtland warbler.
It's a bird, right?
That's a bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there are a number of resolutions regarding the service department on the agenda. So we've already received the excavator. We're gonna have a resolution. The trailer, we've already got that. We're gonna have a resolution to pay for that. There's one on there for plow blades. So the plow blade system that we use, they're a couple $1,000s a piece. They last us 3, 4, 5 years, depending on whether they're used mostly on concrete roads or asphalt roads. I just try to get a couple every year to have them in stock because there's a long wait. If I lost a plow blade, it broke today, and I didn't have one there, I might have to take that plow out of service. So I just try to keep a couple in stock. So that's what that is for. And then there's one on there for the road striping. That actually happened back in October or November, and we just got the invoice. It's not on the work session one, it's on the meeting one. And that is done through the county. We're allowed to piggyback on their striping contract.
So, and then we use that to stripe probably like, well, it'd be Hardy Road coming up, but Lake Road, any center line stuff?
It's already been done.
Right.
It was Hardy, Lake, Fairfield, Stratford, Normandy, Coventry, and I think that's all.
I think is it just center line? Do you remember?
It is, except for Hardy Road, we do the edge line,
Okay.
just because when you get off the road there, there's no berm, there's no shoulder to speak of. And, you know, as everybody thinks of the winter, we've had 2 big snow storms, one in the first week of November, or first week of December, and then one around Christmas. But we've still been busy. In January, we were out 14, 15 different days, salting. We had the threat of the big ice storm, which caused us to salt in preparation for it, and it never happened. Called guys in early that morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, in case it happened, and it didn't happen, but.
What about last night, Bill? How'd it go last night?
Last night was a busy night, but, we're still working on our, kind of only bringing in half of the guys, like last night from 5 to 11, and then those guys stayed home till 7 today, and the other guys came in at 3, and guys are getting rest, and we're still getting the roads done we try to get them open by, every road done with salt by 7 a.m. And we've been able to get that so far. Had I woke up this morning and saw 8 inches of snow out there, I'd have had to call everybody. But it was, so, yeah. So, like I say, people they just think of the big snowstorms as that's when you're busy, but these little events that we gotta put salt down keeps us busy too. But we're doing good on salt, so we're good. And that's all I have.
Okay.
You good?
Very pleased with the roads. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you. Zoning. A lot of stuff here to talk about, I think.
Uh-oh. Okay, Harley, I didn't see where you had anything listed. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Okay, one interesting thing in conversation I've been having is this 1544 Mentor Avenue. As you recall, before we started dealing with coronavirus, we had an opioid crisis that got a lot of attention. And then Corona came along and stole the show. Well, now that the vaccination program is underway and some of the fears of coronavirus are dwindling, now people are recognizing that treatment centers are starting to scramble to keep up with a bigger opioid crisis and chemical dependency. The Kelly's Pawn Shop City Loan Building side by side at 1544 and 1536 Mentor Avenue have been up for sale. Rick Osborne is the realtor, the listing realtor. Another realtor brought a buyer from the other side of town over in Sheffield Lake. One of that buyer's potential tenants is the Pinnacle Treatment Center. They operate a number, a very large number of treatment centers to treat both chemical dependency and alcohol dependency. They're an outpatient basis only. They would occupy, or they propose to occupy, the pawn shop building on that property with a lot of interior reconfiguration and remodeling. That use technically is a permitted use at that location. The issue that we discovered is there's going to be a parking issue, that the change in the use requires more parking spaces to be provided. And the way that they propose to configure those parking spaces can't be done without a variance. So I suggested to them that they work with the landlord at discovering there's plenty of room and vacant room in the back. They could do some land clearing and expand the paved area behind the building to increase their parking without having to do a variance. So they're taking a look at that right now, and they'll get back to me. Otherwise, they're going to have to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals to seek a variance, and I'm not enthusiastic about part of their parking plan. So I'm just not sure how that'll go.
Hey, Rich,
Yes.
was there other interest in that property there? Wasn't there?
Harley had an inquiry from a kind of a coffee shop. It was going to use the drive-in feature at the old city loan building there. But that one is not being mentioned or discussed right now. The same buyer is buying both parcels of property.
Yeah, they won't sell them separately.
And
So right now, Pinnacle Treatment Center is the only application that I actually have.
and then Harley, did you follow? We talked about that last meeting or two meetings ago. Have you been in touch with them at all?
No, they haven't reached back out. I gave them all of the information that they needed
Okay.
at that time, and they went back, and I'm not sure what's being said. I honestly don't even know who it was that was inquiring. They wouldn't release the name of the company, so.
I guess was it like a realtor that was?
It was a
reaching out?
realtor, yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Is it worth reach? I don't know.
Yes.
Can you
Reach
reach
out to the
out
realtor.
again and just see if they had any questions or if there were any concerns that we
There's
can
a s-
maybe address?
There's a similar facility right next to my barber and mentor, and it's not an ideal, I would see, for our main retail corridor. You know,
Oh, not reaching.
not
back
that.
out.
I'm talking about the.
Oh,
the
this. Yeah. But I think that initial inquiry would be a nice addition there, and not knowing what it is, but be a nice addition. So if we can reach back out to them and say, hey, what was there? Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay.
So this is a treatment center. Can we go over again what the treatment center is?
I thought I put a copy of their application with a description of their operation in the meeting folder.
I'm sure you did. I just didn't get there. So can you give me a verbal?
Yeah, they're going to have nurses, medical staff on staff during the day. Their operating hours are going to be basically 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to noon on Saturday, closed on Sundays. Patients will be able to come in and get drug-assisted treatments and counseling. They'll have rooms set aside for counseling sessions and the chemical administrations.
But there's no living there. There's no on-site residential.
No living there, no.
Okay.
And usually, I mean, with their closing at 2:00 in the afternoon, that's kind of a ease on traffic and busyness, because after lunchtime, Minter Avenue really kind of jumps. you know. So most of their business is going to be done before 2 o'clock, and they're going to close up at 2 o'clock. The parking is an issue on the site. They expect to treat a lot of patients there on a weekly basis, and with they're only proposing 30 parking spaces. My figures say they're required to have 33. They want to put 6 of them right up against the road right away on Menor Avenue, and that's not going to work. We require a 10-foot setback from the road right away, and it's just not going to work. And they can't put 6 spaces there. I don't think there's enough width on that parcel of property for 6 spaces there.
They currently have 17.
This is an ongoing conversation, and we'll see what they come back with. But if they look like they're going to opt to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals for a variance, I will try to discourage that unless they make a lot of sense, because I don't think the board is going to go along with a shabby parking situation for that
Rich,
kind of an establishment,
So why 33 spots or 30 spots? And I guess, so let me preface that. The question relates to when we did the get-go down here with Giant Eagle. And remember when they put that in, I was on the zoning commission, and they wanted to put in like 50-some spots or some stupid number, and it was persistent that they had to have all these spots. And we said during the hearing, you'll never need all those spots. Why don't you put some trees or something? Instead of just putting a bunch of pavement down, put something nice up there, make it look nice. You're right in the corner. So if you ever drive by Get-Go, they're busy up front, but they're never busy around the back. And all these places they put the parking spots. So where are they coming up with 30? Where are you coming up with 33 spots?
Our regulations call for a building for a medical, dental, or clinic use. We require 1 parking space, which is 9 feet by 20 feet, for every 150 square feet of gross floor area. The building's 5,000 square feet. That's 33.33 parking spaces.
And my guess is, that's not we didn't come up with that on our own. There is traffic generation estimates.
All right, thank you, Rich.
Okay, and they're only proposing 30 spaces. My job is to tell them you're required to provide 33 spaces. They don't really even have room for 30 spaces and be able to properly circulate traffic on the premises. So that's the job I'm trying to do, is to give them guidance that the only way you're going to get any relief on your parking is to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals. But the Board of Zoning Appeals is not a bunch of dummies. They're going to recognize if you're trying to take shortcuts with proper traffic circulation. So we're going to see how this works out, but it's something that absorbs a little bit of time and energy as we're trying to get it worked out.
But you said the business meets the requirement as it is, so that's not an issue, or it could be an issue.
No, it is. It really is a permitted use. There's no doubt about it. It fits the description of permitted uses for the B3 zoning district.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
There's nothing else on that one. The potential, the former Ohio Glass.
Okay. I saw the for sale sign, or the sold sign. Did some checking. Title has transferred. Apparently, the owner of that property now also owns the Finish Line Car Wash at 291st and Euclid Avenue in Wickliffe. Kind of makes some sense because of the configuration of that property. It would not surprise me to see them make some changes to the building, install car wash equipment, and have an automated car wash there. Any questions on that one?
No.
Okay. We are still really expecting a proposal from the Meyer supermarkets and chain to put a gas station in between the Safe Store at Chatham and Menor Avenue and the Emerald Plaza on Dave Williams' vacant 3 acres there. They may be delayed a little bit because my understanding is they're pushing hard for a number of new store sites. So they may have put the gas station a little bit on the back burner. Plus the fact that when they showed Harley and I some of the architectural renderings that they had, there was nothing that they showed us that we really could get enthusiastic about looking anything like a Western Reserve kind of architecture. But I did get word from Dave Williams that the last word he had from them is that they fully intended to get us a new architectural rendering and to continue to pursue their idea of putting a gas station on that site. Gas station convenience store.
Yeah, I mean, based on it's more than a gas station, isn't it? Like more like a Sheetz, a full op. It's like a get-go, an improvement on a get-go, right? Even expanded more than the get-go as far as the offerings, right?
Well,
it's almost like a
it's
almost like a mini
it's a
grocery
gas station
store.
convenience store. You know, the
Sorry, Rich, I don't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to add that they also have indoor dining and a seating area.
Yeah,
for
that's
that
what I
as
thought.
well.
It's
So
like
it's a little bit bigger.
It's a get-go on steroids from
Yeah.
Ryan.
Myers?
Yes. So it's like a mini grocery store with an indoor seating eatery as well.
Yes.
Right.
which aside from the gasoline sales, the C store, the convenience store, would be a permitted use in a B1 zoning district. The trick is that we allow gas stations as conditional uses in the B2 and B3 districts, but not so in the B1 district. So we will eventually, they're going to request some kind of a accommodation, and we'll have to make a decision on what the best direction for the township is. I would suggest, simply because the B1 zoning district is limited right now to only the Menor Avenue corridor between Doane Avenue and the Menor city line. And there's not very much in the way of developable property in that corridor right now. So if we have one gas station there, what are the chances that we're going to get more requests for more gas stations there? I would think slim to none. So that's how I think we should strategize in accommodating them if they come back with an acceptable architectural rendering and demonstrate that they want to be part of this community and build something that'll fit in with what we're trying to do on that corridor.
I mean, aesthetics wise, if it matches that, the concept that I saw is something that we should definitely consider if they want to play with the design, because we say gas station, but based on what what I was kind of showed is that it's much more than just a gas station with a little store. It's going to be a pretty big operation outside of that. So
Yes.
So I think it's definitely, if they play with what you're looking for of the aesthetics, I think it's definitely something that we should at least can take a look at.
Okay. Any more on that one?
No.
Okay. Now, Ron Klein has had the undeveloped part of the Brooks up for sale for like a little over a year, I think. I'm pretty sure that Paul Murray and Hallmark Excavating were taking a look at that. Maybe somebody else had some thoughts about it. Now Ron Klein is coming back and he's presenting another plan, a change to the plan that was finally approved in 2003. And what he wants to do is convert it. The main principle is he doesn't want to do the condo arrangement anymore. He wants to create fee simple lots. The problematical part of doing that is he wants the new portion to be dedicated roads. And Bill, correct me if I'm misspeaking, but I don't think our road department really wants to see that development half dedicated roads and half private roads with no place to turn around.
And the only access to the dedicated roads would be through the private roads?
No.
No, they'll have one access near the south boundary of the property.
Are those lots big enough?
Well, when you say big enough, it's an FPUD.
So we would have to approve the change, correct?
We're going to have to approve the change because it's going to impact traffic circulation on the site and into and out of the site.
Well, so, wait, hold
It's
on.
not going to change. It's not going to change density, but it's going to change the character of the development.
So, Rich, so we would be either approving or denying their proposed change, right? We don't have to approve anything, right? It has to come before us to approve or deny.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a starting point, and I'm glad they recognized before they even sent it to us that it's just a starting point because there are a few issues to deal with here.
Rich, as I look at the plans that they've submitted, as long as we're not having to drive through a private subdivision to get to a public road, it has public access off of Bacon Road. If it's a public road, it meets the county standards, we'd have to take care of it.
It looks Rich, it looks like Spring Run Boulevard, they're proposing to extend it, so there'd be a magical line somewhere that would be private versus public.
Right.
It's almost like they need to stub that into a road so that there's a new road that is entirely public.
Pipe in here.
Well, they did stub it. Right now, if you see that heavy black line where it says, if you're looking kind of like up toward the top of the cover page, on the right-hand side of that heavy line, it says condominium, and on the lower part, it says subdivision.
Yes.
Coming down from there, Spring Run, they're drawing a line across Spring Run,
Right.
and that's about where the Spring Run pavement ends right now.
Yes, I agree.
But for us to come in and plow that,
It'd
been
be better to take that stuff down to the,
it's almost like the new road coming in should run up, and Spring Run should actually tee into it.
right,
Versus what happens now, it doesn't.
well, couldn't they move that line just down to here? So it would just be right at the curve, so this would be it, but then everything this way, so just shift that
How'd you guys
line.
all get copies?
This was a copy up
This
here.
copy, this, she brought
the
me,
desk.
you guys were holding that one.
I mean, so the same thing, which we wouldn't want that culvert probably, and we'd want them to run that as a private right up to this. So then you're going to have part of Spring Run Boulevard as public, part as private. Which
So hang
seems
on,
an
so there's
issue.
other problems. There's stormwater issues, big time. McKinley Creek flows right through there, and that road, that creek overflows right now, and so there's a house at the end. Where's the house at the current end of Spring Run right now, the condo? Might be right where your finger was, Bill. That one, yeah, the one you're touching right there. That one, literally there's water up behind all three of those. I've got pictures of this. So McKinley Creek has a major problem, and they need to do something about the drainage. The county has to be aware of that. I'm going to fight that one to the end. I mean, I don't mind the single-family homes, but they've got major drainage.
Is some of this already built in here?
That's all built. Well, it's not all built.
Okay, so the dark gray homes are built,
Nothing.
and the light ones are.
Yeah, so this, you've got this and that, and then you come up to here and it stops. So this is all there.
All right, so
All this empty space between these condos right now?
I mean,
He's going to put more condos, it looks like,
Right, so-
'cause that's not there.
there's a lot of concern from everybody. I think Chuck has concerns. I've got concerns. I'm sure Gabe does. I mean,
This one's going to have a lot of give and take.
they're given and they're taken. I don't want to. I mean, right? I mean, there's no reason to. There's an approved plan. If they want to deviate from it, I mean, I don't want to take something that's going to cause additional problems and.
And I'm just going to, I don't know if I can, am I allowed to offer an opinion on difficulty, Mr. Legal? So, I've had difficulty dealing with Mr. Klein in the past with the condo association. He's been, difficult, put it lightly. And, there's gonna be a lot of corrections to this. I mean, that's just the way it's gotta be. He hasn't been very easy to work with. And with all those homeowners in that HOA or that condo association, I was fielding calls from them regularly as an elected official here, so.
So if there's an approved plan unit development for the property, do we have to, well, I guess we have to entertain changes, but, I mean, if we were to deny a change, I mean, they're still permitted to build what was approved before?
Right.
I guess
Yeah,
that's gonna be the issue.
which
that's
is
gonna
the
come up.
same number of units.
Okay.
The basic difference is what was approved prior was all private roads. And I don't think they're even aware of it, but there were some easements granted for decks to encroach into the 35-foot buffer in certain places. And I've got the old drawings that show which of the units were affected by that. And the condominium style of ownership as opposed to fee simple lots. So, you know, we have to have
I mean, it seems pretty simple.
a revised drawing.
Keeps it as is.
And my recommendation is that they originally were approved for 118 units, and that's what they're still proposing. So the number of units has stayed consistent. It's the style of ownership of the units and the private road that are the changes, or the public road instead of the private road.
Rich?
Yes.
All right, I want to pipe in again, please. I'm not opposed to the single-family lots going in. Personally, I prefer single families as opposed to the condos. There are issues with the road lines that you were pointing out and how that would have to go. With the PUD, if you make changes, then he can either stick with the original plan, which I don't like either, or he can go to some kind of modification of that, and then we as trustees can adjust it. But there's a lot of things that have to be adjusted. I think it's better for him to go with single-family homes, and that's, in my opinion, it might be better for us too.
Why do you think that?
Huh?
What's the reason on that?
I think single-family homes are more desirable for the community. If you have too many condominiums, I think you ultimately can hurt yourself, and we're loaded with condominiums in this neighborhood,
But those-
all
I
over
just-
this Bacon
versus-
Road.
That I agree with. Attached condos, but being a standalones, I didn't know if those are different.
Well, those are kind of nice. I know they're nice for older folks, but personally, I don't know. It's just
Younger families want it.
Really?
Their own yard. That's what I'm saying.
oh yeah, they want their own yard. So I like the single-family homes. I think you attract more younger families, and it's better for the neighborhood.
Those are tiny lots, but.
Well, but what are they? 60-foot lots, Rich?
Well, that's the thing. It's in our PUD regulations. We assume that it's going to be all private roads and not public roads. And this development was laid out for the condos to have a lot of open space. we're going to have to get them to revise their thinking if they're going to propose fee simple lots instead of just having requirements that talk about side to side and back to back, building to building kind of measurements. We're going to have to get them to declare and be prepared to survey and stake out all these sublots. So personally, I don't think it's a good idea to mix and match the public and the private roads. I think we should hold them to the public roads with setbacks designed on so many feet behind the curb of the private road. The number of units might have to be adjusted if we figure there's a bad traffic configuration included in their plan.
Well, I mean, maybe they could even not connect to the brooks. They could put in a new road off of Bacon like they're proposing, run it in, cul-de-sac it in the back, and have single-family homes on it.
Just close it off.
Yeah, and don't have it tied into the brooks. It's a new cul-de-sac, single cul-de-sac street that comes in off Bacon, and you can come back in there with some homes. So, would it be
Right.
possible to get? Do we have this drawing as a PDF?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Polaris was supposed to send me one, and they haven't sent that yet.
When it comes in, can you put it in, I guess, maybe the next meeting folder, as well as a copy of the original or the approved one, so we can see that at the same time?
Okay.
And
So
then,
with the PUD, we can get the drainage issue addressed. By making a change to the PUD, we can get the drainage issue addressed. Without making the change, they can just do what it says, and then we're going to have to deal with flooding issues because it already exists. And when you put homes closer to that creek, it's going to be worse.
Hey, so Rich,
Yeah.
as we've learned through the years that wetlands change very quickly, since he hasn't developed any of this property, or some of this stuff is yet to be developed, right?
Good point.
Could this have become wetlands? Will he have to get a new delineation done?
He may have to, yeah.
Or can we request that?
I'll have to double check. I don't know if we can make that mandatory. He can't build anything. It would make sense for him to do that. We can certainly suggest that he do that
Okay.
before he invests too much money in developing plans and paying the surveyor to, redraw everything without knowing for sure how he stands on the wetlands question.
I mean, because this PUD was done, what, 12, 15 years ago?
Correct.
And I mean, look how fast the wetlands changed over on, no, the one off of
Mapleview?
Mapleview. I mean, look how fast that wetlands changed, right? So if you're
Right.
talking 12 to 15, it's got to be 12 to 15 years. I mean, I would imagine, based on what we've experienced in other developments, that the wetlands may have drastically changed over here, especially based on what Chuck's saying with the flooding issues,
Right.
so, just speaking for myself, I would like to see them revise their PUD revision to keep a new public road totally separate from the Brooks private roads and put a nice cul-de-sac in there with single-family homes. But again, and address the stormwater. But
Okay.
so I guess when you talk to them, you can let them know there was quite a bit of excitement and around the discussion and yes, and I guess excitement in a not a positive way.
Well, we don't call it excitement. We'll talk about it. It got good consideration and got looked at, and we identified some things that we think are going to be problems, and the challenge is up to them to solve them.
Yeah. Okay.
He has a track record. He has a track record
I know.
not only with the Brooks, but in Lake Erie Shores. and it's not a good track record. And we were told a lot of things and a lot of difficulties, and he pretty much does what he wants, when he wants. So we're going to watch this one very closely, very closely. Glad to work with him, though, because I want to make that drainage issue fixed. PUD gives us the opportunity.
Very good.
And then, is there any update on Hawthorne, or has there been any activity over there?
Oh yeah, the guys got home from school. Well, I sent you copies of that.
Correct.
They got back in, and right away they went back to their old habits, parking on the street, cars all over the front yard.
And
Go figure. Who would've
Well, and you notified the property manager, and has that resolved the issue?
I did. We haven't had anything happen since then. The property manager was on it like right away. And I've done a couple drive-bys, and my good friend Vonnie over there it certainly calls me when she sees something wrong. So
Okay. No,
Good.
It's right in her front yard, and it's really impacting her. So, yeah, I don't.
well, it
blame her
does.
at
Yeah.
all. So, okay.
Okay, that's about all I have, I think.
All right. Thank you.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, I want to go back to discuss Center Park Estates when we have a chance. I want to get an update.
I think we're done.
Yeah, I think we're done. So we can. Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, so Michael, who do we need to poke for Center Park Estates? Where are we at with that? I know I keep asking you, and you're just the middleman, so what do we need to do from a township standpoint to expedite this?
Contact Tim Miller at Stormwater and ask when he'll be done examining the easements, the pile of easements he has so we can locate where they're at.
Can you reach out to him and ask him for something that we can do? I don't know what it requires to do it. I'm ignorant on that aspect, other than a professional would have to look. But if he doesn't have enough staffing to, I'm asking, if he doesn't have the staffing to get this question answered on those easements, would we be open to contracting get that answer done? Because this thing's been sitting. That's what they're waiting on now. It's been sitting, and it just keeps sitting.
Be open to hearing what it might cost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Open to the idea of it.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe don't lead off with that, because he might just punt it.
Yeah, I wouldn't ask him if we can do it.
But yeah, that is something that is a very important issue that is kind of stalled.
It just stalls.
Okay.
It's a hurdle, always a hurdle. Okay. I know at work we do it. If we don't have the manpower, we contract out. It's just a normal business practice.
And if we do it, will we just get reimbursed from stormwater?
It comes out of stormwater. How much can it be? In the big picture of things, how much more could that be? If it moves it along by 6 months or a year, then it's worth the price.
Right.
It's just a normal business practice.
Okay, I will follow up.
Are we done?
We are.
That is amazing. I think that this is like the earliest ever. Maybe
Well, we started at 5.
So
don't don't poo-poo it on us.
Next time, I guess.
We did good then.
So Mike put salary information in his folder. Do we want to go into a quick executive session? We can go into executive session to discuss compensation. Do we want to do that, at least to just briefly talk about it?
Yes, good point, yes.
So I guess I need a motion. Jason, what do we need? A motion?
Motion, then we second, and then Mike does roll call.
Need a motion with the specific reason for the executive
So
session.
if you were to say it, how would you say it?
Motion to adjourn executive session to discuss employee compensation.
All
And
right.
if there's a specific, like if it's
It's
administrative.
non-bargaining
employee
employees.
compensation.
That's
All
what
right.
it is. It's all
I guess I'd ask for a motion.
non-bargaining
All right,
employees.
so make a motion
Motion to
to
go into-
adjourn to executive session to discuss compensation for non-bargaining employees.
So moved.
I'll second.
Trustee Chiccanetti?
Yay.
Trustee Pennock?
Yay.
Trustee Hilliard?
Yay.
Okay.
Jason, really quick, does this also end the work session, or will the work session have to resume after?
Technically, an executive session has to be sandwiched on both ends by an open meeting.
Okay.
announcements.
So,
Just muting the meeting.
or can we kill the work session
No.
and then
No.
come back into the other meeting and come out of?
We
There's
gotta
a
come back in
procedure
'cause
for
it's a
that, but we
separate
can't
feed.
end the stream. There's a procedure, but we can't end the stream.
Okay, I didn't know if we could do that and then just come back to start, go live again.
Just mute it.
Yeah, we're muting it. Carly muted the
All right.
system back there. When we come out of executive session, then we can end the work session and then start the public meeting.
meeting, we're gonna have Mike write us a resolution during the meeting.
All right, there you go.
All right, next meeting, you're gonna write a resolution. Are we live?
Yeah.
Check what?
All
All right, we're gonna come out of executive session at 7:28.
I think my battery works.
And at that point, we're gonna end the work session, and we can probably end the live stream for the work session, or are we continuing the same one?
You gotta end it, start a new one.
All right, so we're gonna end the work session live stream.
Okay, go ahead. No, let me put a battery in it, keep it straight.
All right, here, this one's yours. She wants to give it back to you.